What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at a few figures here. So we have Jakks Pacific Super Mario figures, we got Fire Mario, we got Builder Luigi, and of course Dry Bones. Let's check it out.
Now tuning into the encountered culture.
Culture's in your face. Fun to pretend that you want it to end. I'd rather be drinking with my friends. When we go out, you never see us again.
As promised, today we are going to be looking at Builder Luigi, Fire Mario, and Dry Bones. Let's check it out. Alright, so of course we have the standard packaging for these Jakks Pacific 4-inch figures. So there you go. Take a look at the back. You get a picture of Dry Bones, Super Mario logo. Here's what's in the wave. We skipped Toad and Hammer Bro on this one. Toad just didn't seem like a need to add or upgrade. Same with the Hammer Bro. So we may still get the Hammer Bro, but I think we're sitting Toad out on this one. You guys let me know what you think about that down in the comments below. But of course, there you go. You got Dry Bones there with the coin accessory. Fire Mario, same thing. So new upgraded Fire Mario. You got the flower in the package there. Flip it to the back. There's your picture of the figure. The rest of the wave, some of the action. 13 points of articulation. And of course, for Builder Luigi, this was the cream of the crop from this wave. Super excited to add this one. Of course, take a look at the back. There's what you have. There's your 11 points of articulation. And of course, Builder Luigi himself. Alright, let's crack these bad boys open. Alright, fresh out the box. Here you can see all three of these nice little figures. So of course, Jakks Pacific, a couple of reuse here, a couple of re-releases, something new, so a little bit of everything. Really liking what I'm seeing so far. Let's take a look at each individually a little bit closer though. Alright, so up first we'll take a look at Dry Bones. So just looking at the figure right off the bat, we definitely get a lot of reuse on this. I do think this shell is new though, because the pair of bones obviously had the holes for the wings, and some of the detailing looks a little bit different. I'll show you that a little bit closer when we get to the size comparison. But taking a look at the articulation, so you do get the joint up at the hip, sort of up at the top of the leg there, so you get fairly decent range of motion for such a small figure. So pretty good, not too bad. You do have a swivel at the foot there. They're also, so that's it. So swivel at the foot, nothing on the toes. Coming up to the arms, you do get swivel at the wrist. There is, of course, the joint at the shoulder there, so you do get about what you would expect for the motion there, but you can go all the way around. Mouth, of course, opens as previous. And then the neck, you get down about that much. And you can, without the mouth open, look up about that much. If you open the mouth, eyes go back about that far. Alright, of course you can go all the way around, so no limitation there. And same on both sides. That's about it. And nothing on the tail. Alright, let's take a look at a comparison. So for your size comparison, I do have Dry Bones here with Para Bones. You can see 4-inch scale figures, so they are the same height. Like I said before, a lot of the same pieces. The shell might even be the same piece, just retooled, but I do want to show what I'm talking about as far as the detailing, so I do believe it's different. But overall, fairly similar figures, so if you have a bunch of these, they're going to mix in together very well. It'll look good in your display. But let's look at that shell. So you can see, so right there, I mean, that's a pretty clear indicator. Pretty big gap there, not so much on the Dry Bones, and that is pretty uniform all around. So I do think the new, or this shell at least, looks significantly better than this. Coming around, the plastic on the Dry Bones looks a little bit better. This Para Bones one sort of has more of a cheaper look to it. You kind of get that plastic gloss finish there, whereas it's much more flat and looks significantly better on this one. The grays are a little bit different. Dry Bones is slightly darker, just a little bit though. The blues seem to be just about the same. Yeah, so overall, I mean, some minor improvements. The eyes, that's another one. So you have more of the glowing eye on the Parabones, whereas not so much on Dry Bones. You guys let me know what you think about that down in the comments. But overall, I mean, if you're just like army building these or just have one or two, pretty solid looking Dry Bones, if I must say. Alright, so moving over to Fire Mario. So, of course, this is a sort of newly retooled, newer version of Fire Mario. So, perfect for those of you who don't have a Fire Mario in your collection, or those of you who just want all of the Fire Marios. Some of the big changes here. So, the articulation down here, so the joint at the knee has been moved down slightly. I'll show you, of course, when we get to the comparison. So that does make a difference. Of course, the eyes, they are with the more modern eye painting for the Mario figures. Overall, a lot of the same aesthetic, of course, because that wouldn't need to change. But we'll get into that when we do the comparison. For your articulation, so at the elbow, you have that, obviously. For the arm, you can come out about that much. You can make it all the way around. You do get a swivel at the wrist, so there you go. For the legs, you get about that much. Not a ton of range of motion for the legs themselves, but of course that knee has moved down a little bit lower. Shoes are a little bit different. I'll show you that too. They've definitely changed the shoes just a slight amount. All right, looking at the head, so you don't get a lot of motion side to side or up or down for Mario, but maybe you don't need it. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about that down in the comments below. All right, let's take a look at the side by side. All right, so looking at both of these Fire Marios back to back, you can see, like I said, the aesthetic is the same. Nothing need to change there. Why would it, right? So let's take a closer look at some of the differences, though, as far as both of these are concerned. So just looking at them just a little bit closer, like I said, the eyes are obviously painted a little bit different than on the previous versions. This one, the newer one, has sort of like a shinier tone to it. Like the face on this Mario looks a little bit more flat. However, they did manage to clean up this line across the nose. You can still see one kind of up there, but it definitely disappears much easier than that one does. The white on the newer one has more of a pearlescent sort of tone to it. Not like a huge amount, but you can see from like on the camera and in person, you can definitely make that out as well. Alright, so there you go. You can see like the backs of the legs, how these have shifted downwards. So it's definitely more around what you would think the knee is on the older one. Down here it's like where I guess the shin would be below the knee, but it still works, makes sense. You do get a little bit of a pants lip down there, is where they just kind of carved in a little dip there. And then the shoes, you get a little bit thicker heel on the new one, and they just all around seem slightly larger, and you can tell they're not the same piece either. The new one having a stamp of 2022 and the old one 2015, so they've at least updated the feet as far as we can tell. Alright, so there you go. You guys let me know what you think about that down in the comments, if it's worth the upgrade, if you care about it. If you don't, if you are just looking for a Fire Mario, then now's the time. So now for the moment that I think everybody has been waiting for, or at least those of you who are watching this video. I don't think everybody's been waiting for it, but you know, people have. It's cool. Alright, here we go. We got Builder Luigi. He's new. He's what we were looking for in this wave. I'm sure a lot of you can relate. Finally able to have a Builder Luigi to go with your Builder Mario. Let's take a look at this guy. So of course, for your articulation, you do get pretty decent range of motion, being that Luigi is a little bit taller. I think that allows for some more flexibility as far as the articulation goes. As you saw with the arm there, you can get it a pretty decent way around. You do get the joint at the elbow, and the wrist has that rotation there. Looking at the legs, still fairly limited on legs, but again, depending on how you're displaying, I don't think you need a ton of range of motion. At least up here, it's just nice to be able to have like the knee kick out and everything. So like on Mario, on the Fire Mario, I showed you the articulation had moved slightly lower. On Luigi, I don't think it needed to because he does have longer legs. So it just kind of makes sense where they are. Looking at the head, so you're able to get, Luigi, you can get his head all the way around, but you have essentially nothing on the up or down as far as that is concerned. So it would be nice to see like a little bit better articulation in some of the necks on these figures, just so they can look up a little bit, or look to the side or down. I mean, they can look to the side, but not in side and up or something. Just something a little bit better. The hammer's new, so that's not a reused hammer from Mario. I'll show you that in a little bit. Another plus on this one, the belt is in place, so it's not just loose and falling all over. So that, for me, that's a nice touch. So I did like that. All right, let's take a look at the two of them side by side. All right, for your size comparison, figure comparison, here you have Builder Luigi backed up against Builder Mario, completing those two in their Builder costumes. Nice to add finally. So obviously there were some differences that I pointed out as far as like the upgrades go. We'll look at the hammers, we'll look at the belts. So on the Mario, a little bit older figure, this belt just kind of goes every which way and can easily fall off. So that's definitely something that can be an issue, just a pain sometimes. You could always glue it. There are always solutions to the problem, but just a nice way to kind of update the aesthetic there, adding that. Looking at the eyes, of course, this Mario is going to have the older painted eyes, whereas Luigi has the newer painted eyes. So that might irk some people, might bother some people. I kind of feel like I like the older, like the double thing. I don't know that I love it. So I don't know. This is kind of a little bit better for me. You guys let me know what you think about that down in the comments. Talking about the hammers, so here's Mario's hammer. All right, so we got the old one. It's got the M encrusted on there, a little bit smaller. Taking a look at Luigi's though, his is a little bit bigger, which I mean I feel like it makes sense. It's also encrusted. Luigi is not pleased. That's okay. We move on. All right, so a little bit bigger. Luigi's a little bit bigger, so I feel like that all that makes sense, right? So definitely cool that they didn't just reuse the same hammer over again. All right. Overall, I think it's really nice to just have these two as a set together. They look nice together. Minor differences aside, the belt, nobody's going to notice that if it's just sitting on your shelf. The eyes, you really got to get in there to see that up close and personal to notice that difference. But again, just cool to add this Luigi to the collection. You guys let me know what you think about it down in the comments below. If you are looking for this, if you found it, I know some people have been having some trouble locating it, but it seems like the wave is starting to slowly leak its way out. So hope you guys are able to find it. All right, folks, so there you have it. There are the three figures I promised at the beginning of the video. So you do have your Builder Luigi, your Dry Bones, and your updated Fire Mario. You guys let me know what you think about these down in the comments, if you even care about some of these being released, if Builder Luigi was the only one you cared about. I still think it's good to have these updates every once in a while. Sometimes figures start to look outdated as new ones are coming out. So, obviously not too much too soon, but sometimes it is good for those. Good to complete sets when you can, so nice to add that Builder Luigi. And of course, with any of your army builders, for me, those are just nice because you can never have too many army builders if you're trying to make a nice little scene. So you guys let me know what you think about that down in the comments. Of course, as always, appreciate you stopping by, whether this is your first time or you've been here before. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe below. Certainly nice to see things growing and everybody coming back and new people coming and watching the videos. So I can't say how much I appreciate that, but just so you know, I certainly do. As always, if you are over on Instagram or you are over on whatnot, feel free to come out and hang over there as well. Certainly appreciate having you. Or if you just want to stop by and say hello, that's all good too. But until next time, take it easy.
I'm being erased, I'm being replaced. Counterculture, it's in your face. It's fun to pretend that you want it to end. I'd rather be drinking with my friends. When we go out, you never see us again.